I'd like you to put your hands together for a young lady who went to UCT. I think she did a PPE, I have a feeling, if I remember correctly. Please welcome Tamtonkhe Dlamini. Tam! Woo! Woo! Glam Tam.
Oh, here we go. Thank you, Puli. And thank you for everybody that's actually still hanging around despite the fact that they're done. It's appreciated. Okay, so today I want to talk to you guys about a couple of things. Okay, first of all, most of you know me as Tam, but my name is actually Tamtonkhe Dlamini. It is 54 letters long and does not fit anywhere. So I go as Tam to save time and brain cells. So a lot of people, when I tell them this, they often say, your parents are hella inconsiderate, and I agree with them. But it wasn't actually my parents who named me this. It was my grandmother. I am the 18th grandchild of Esther Dlamini, my koko who named me. I should be continuing. There we go. My koko who named me. You think after 17 grandchildren, she'd lose a little vigor somewhere along the way and name me something normal like Mbali or Zama, but I mean, alas, here we are. It's annoying, but it's a beautiful testament to how my koko lived her life. I grew up in a small village in Swaziland. I moved there when I was 4 years old because my dad is a mama's boy. I wanted to build a house 250 meters away from his mother. But it did me a lot of good because it gave me the benefits of growing up around my koko. She died at the age of 92, and 92 was the age that we assigned her because no one knew her actual age. When we asked, she genuinely said she didn't know, nor did she actually really care. So if anyone ever asked me how old my koko was, I would say somewhere between 65 and 90. She was very accepting of the constant evolution of herself as a person, and the years that came with it were rather irrelevant. It was a beautiful thing to grow up around. This quote reads, "The secret of genius is to carry the spirit of a child into old age, which means never losing enthusiasm." Koko was a genius. It was genius in how she named us and how she lived and who she was as a person. I obviously didn't notice these things until I was much older and Koko was dead, but when I started to see other people grow old, enter that 65 to 90 phase, they did it with so much less grace than my grandma ever showed. They tried to fight it. They tried to fight it then, and I see people in class, my peers, all over, try to fight it now. Think about it, my beautiful class with an average age of around 22. You right now are a little scared of aging. I recently turned 24, and I had it all displayed out with the candles and whatnot, and someone asked me when I plan to stop displaying my age, as if it's some dirty little secret that I have between the government and me, like a hideous middle name. So one day I will become Tam, the 30-year-old Dlamini, and I've got enough problems with my name, I don't need any more pressure. So with Koko in mind, I told them that I would accurately represent my age for as long as I could remember it. Because beyond making you a legal entity at 18, your age means nothing in life, right? Wrong. We actually live in the most ageist society in history. Aging is an inevitable fact or truth like race or sexual orientation, yet in our very socially aware 2016, there are still viable, lawful ways to institutionally and socially prejudice and discriminate against people of a certain demographic. A demographic that exists all over the world and exists widely amongst our families and other people. Do you know that between 1950 and 2010, the senior demographic has been the only one to show steady growth of 7%, of an average of 7%, and higher since then. And indications show that it's meant to grow exponentially over the next few years, over the next 30 years. So they're soon becoming the widest demographic in the world. This is very important to you marketers. According to a geriatric specialist, that's a doctor for old people, I didn't know this either, Dr. John Newman, this is due to a range of factors, including advances in medical care, changes in foods, lifestyles, and living standards. Human beings and the advancements that we've made have been made so well that we now have a whole new lifetime to consider. 65 is officially the new 40, but for some reason we refuse to acknowledge this as people. No one wants to invest in the elderly. They can't get loans, they're forcibly removed from jobs that they're perfectly capable of still doing, and even in the socially conscious age that we live in, they're still abused, ignored, forgotten, and stereotyped. We have this image of seniors as a collective We have this image of seniors as a collective where once you're above 65 and above, you pretty much wear baggy clothes, you wear plain colors, and you kind of wear capris and Crocs, and this is how we've learned to address them, by giving them options that highlight what they've lost at 65 and above. So we're very blessed today to have Bully here with us, who you all had the chance to interact with. And you can all agree that he's nothing like what we've been taught a man of his age should be. Can you imagine trying to tell Bully what he can't do? Where would you even find the kind of nerve to do that? Yet we do it every day in mass marketing. We sit around our little marketing and creative desk and we talk about what 65-year-olds do or what they don't do. We behave like it's the 50s, and it's childish at best, but really, really harmful at worst. Seniors are non-tech savvy, they are low energy, they are not very active, they play bridge. This is who they are. We're constantly underestimating them. Because seriously, oh no. Okay, there we go. Because seriously, they may not be as great as us at keeping up with technology, but we're not as great as us at keeping up with technology. We learn though, and so do they. Yeah, we keep underestimating them, and it's giving us quite a disservice, as you can see. According to Pew Media Research Center, 16% of Pinterest users and a staggering 48% of Facebook users are above the age of 65. Yeah, scrapbooking went digital, and so did they. No one is talking about this. They're still just the old non-tax savvy generation. We're wasting money. But even with all these facts, and the use of analytics, advertising targeted at seniors is the pale overexposed images that make you think of a retirement home. All the media saying is fun times are over for this guy, and we gotta reserve the edgy, cool, fun stuff for the young. No wonder everybody is so scared of growing old. It's made to look horrible by this insistent cult of youth that we have been taught is normal. Surely we're smarter than this. We all know that when marketing to millennials, they want personalization, individualization, and brand attention. This concept is often used when we're speaking to millennials, and when we're speaking to or about millennials, and this confuses me because who on earth says seniors or anyone else actually don't want to feel special? Who wouldn't want to feel loved by their brand? Yet it's millennials want that. No, people want that. Seniors want that. Growing up with my gogo, I just don't get it. I don't get how we've let it go on for so long. I don't get how we let it go so far. Why doesn't the media have images like this in its mainstream? When we talk about age in the media, it's always a discussion of how to suppress it. Anti-aging this, look 20 years younger that. We're fighting an inevitable truth instead of celebrating it. Because listen, it's coming, hey? No amount of palm serum is going to stop the natural process that is aging. Deal with it. Noma very aptly put yesterday that the media is a teacher, so I guess it's no wonder that my peers don't want to grow old when all they're taught is limitation. According to the Journal of American Association for Seniors, seniors who grew up believing good stereotypes about aging live longer than those who grew up believing the negative stereotypes, and that's just because of the way they treat themselves. They have an understanding that at 65, I have a good 30, 25 or so years to be on this earth. So they take better care of themselves instead of looking at it as some downtrodden hole that they're officially waiting to fall into. We determine our quality of life. What determines our quality of life is how we relate to these realities, what kind of meaning we assign them, what kind of attitude we cling to about them, that state of mind, and what we allow them to trigger. So let's talk about this new lifetime that I mentioned earlier, your third act. You have lived through childhood, adulthood, and now you're in a whole new hood that John Fonda named the third act. People in the third act are likely to have grown children, retired from work, and are expected to move into a retirement home soon. At least they used to be. Now people are using this opportunity as exactly what it is, a new life. They use it to improve on past mistakes, to grow as people, to do things that they never had the time or maybe even the guts to do. They use it to become themselves, a whole new themselves. It's said This is to be noted by marketers. These are people that have time, with money, with freedom, yet you continue to ignore them. Like I said, we're wasting money. But honestly, other than the monetary factor of this whole thing, it's about us as a people and as a society. We have demonized this beautiful part to a point where we spend our whole lives worrying about it, fighting it instead of enjoying it. Picasso said, it takes a really long time to become young. And we're hurting ourselves instead of celebrating it. I worry that by the time we have the sense to realize, and I mean truly realize, that age really is nothing but a number, we'll have wasted 2 whole acts. So I put it to you to give yourself a chance to live like my Koko, with no age at all. Thank you.